Woo!
Hi.
Hi. All right. We there is Jody running in right at the last second here. Woo!
I did not make it. No.
Just missed it.
Happy
Oh, yes.
Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look there. Yes, we started.
Friday the 13th
We're
started.
on.
Oh boy, did it.
Oh, yeah. Friday the 13th start for sure.
Okay.
But you guys are
Here.
We did. Well, hi, Mr. Traveler.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. Tired. Had my first week of full rehearsals for Christmas Carol and a full week of school and a full week of chores, so yeah, I'm tired, but I'm full of joy.
Yes. Cool. Yeah, no, I am still like
Jet lag, yeah, I guess.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
You barely left the time zone.
It's more of just like
I know it takes it out of you being in the tube.
the RV and everything. And we'll get into that here in a little bit.
Yeah,
Go over
sure.
some of that.
Oh, there's an RV. You went camping with it too?
Oh my goodness.
RV.
My goodness.
Do is the RV.
Well, I get that,
RVians.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying. You had a full RV. You could have brought us.
No.
Oh no, I had a full RV. I had a full
we had
RV.
to work.
Well, that
All right, make it personal.
So, Robbie, what are our topics today?
Well, I think we'll talk about music because I just got done being in the desert watching a whole bunch of really cool
Oh,
bands.
I like that.
Key on that, since music is sound, I have a moon landing theory question.
A moonlighting
Just
theory question.
moon landing.
Yep. And then
Dealing with sound. So it's
gotcha. Okay. Then I think we're going to talk about, since the whole world has gone crazy and
Yep.
everybody's at war,
Oh my God, yeah.
we're going to talk about love. Yeah.
All right, so Michael, poses
Exactly.
your question.
So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's just start
Let's start
off
with
your
science.
question. Yes.
Right.
doing STEM here.
Okay.
Okay. Now think back to science class and you learned that sound cannot travel
Without,
in a vacuum,
okay.
Okay.
right?
Don't ask the
Right.
actor.
Yeah, sorry. Well, okay. Sound is a wave and it travels through the air.
Okay.
But without it, the sound can't travel. And so in space, they can't hear you scream.
Right.
Right. Okay.
So what's the question?
How do they communicate with the spacecraft from Earth, given that even a radio transmission is sound?
But it's not.
It is. It's sound we can't hear. It's still sound going through the air at a frequency the human ear can't
But
hear,
it's-
but the radio receiver can.
Right.
It's still technically sound.
But I think it's at a different.
It is sound
Oh my goodness.
by
don't
every
know.
definition.
I don't care.
I think that's outside of my. I'm sorry, I'm hearing feedback. I'm gonna mute your speaker.
In the
There we go.
Nice.
Just a little technical
Yeah.
difficulties.
But
but
So
it's-
okay, so but it's on a different wave.
it's a different.
sound,
It's at a
yes,
higher
but-
frequency that, or maybe a lower frequency that the human ear can't hear, but the receiver tuned to it can. That's the point.
Okay.
I mean, you can't hear someone transmitting Morse code right now because it's at like 54 megahertz.
I don't care.
Right.
man.
Well, we hear down here in like kilohertz or whatever. Probably not kilohertz. But I don't know the waves. But, or the full numbers. I just know human
Right.
ear hears things your radio doesn't. That's why you need a radio to receive the sound, hear the sound, and then basically just convert it to a sound wave that we can hear, so we can hear our radio speakers.
Right, but that's what's going on there too. It's
Right.
there's conversion, but it's not.
But
so
now
it's
they're in
not
outer
exactly
space.
set
Now
right.
you're in outer space, which is a vacuum.
Right,
and
but
its
still-
sound can't travel through a vacuum.
but it's
See, like the
not-
Big Bang,
It's not.
silent.
It's not technically sound though. It's not.
Sound can't travel. Oh, she doesn't like
Sound.
space.
I don't care.
Uh,
I don't care.
Well-
Oh, goodness.
All right. Well,
Well,
why
how
don't
do
you
do
find that out
voice
for us?
communications
Well, why don't you
without?
find out that
a
for
sound
us,
wave.
Michael? Because obviously it exists. Obviously it happens.
Mhm.
How
I mean, if
she
did
buys-
I?
because
she'll
your
believe anything.
radio gets-
She'll believe in a conspiracy. It could happen.
All right, let's talk about music.
Ah, jeez.
Or
Okay.
science is cut. I'm done with
All
science.
right, you got doing science today,
Done with
and it
science.
left me with a lookup.
Gotcha.
I ask the
So-
questions, you get to look
All right, Robbie. So, what kind of music did you get
I
influenced with?
just spent 3 days in the desert, and I will show you.
up. No
We
tan
did.
somehow. And no tan.
Oh, so yeah, that was.
Weather
Well, it's
related?
because during the day it was 103 degrees.
Oh,
Perfect sunbathing weather.
So we had on Friday night. It was all just old people rock. We had Guns N' Roses and Iron Maiden. It was a thing called Power Trip. It was 3 days at the same spot where they have Coachella,
Oh, nice.
which is the Empire Polo Club.
Empire
And-
Polo.
Yeah, so we had Guns N' Roses and Iron Maiden. And Iron Maiden, I never really got into Iron Maiden,
You're not talking to somebody who knew him much.
but they did a really fabulous job. They did
Good.
a
What
phenomenal
songs are they
job.
mostly known for?
Breaking the law. No,
Break-
No, that's Iron Maiden,
that's
Judas
Iron-
Priest.
Yes, Judas Priest.
Iron Maiden. I remember
Gosh,
when
I
Made in
don't
Japan
really-
album starts saying,
yeah,
"I want you
they're
to
not
sing
really
for
like
me."
They probably have
I mean-
a look of their album cover at most.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But I know they're famous for Eddie, their mascot
Yes.
caricature, the skeleton,
Yeah, the
or
skeleton,
zombie
okay,
thing guy.
yeah.
Exactly.
yes,
And,
yes.
and
Yeah.
they're like one of the godfathers of
They're
heavy
just-
metal.
yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
they
okay,
really
okay.
are.
Respect.
And so
Yeah, kind of screaming for singing.
Yeah.
I mean, screaming in harmony, but
Oh,
speed metal,
okay, okay.
yeah.
or
And then,
but not. They weren't like the hardest, fastest.
And then Guns N' Roses, that was
Yeah.
a big influence on me.
Yeah.
Playing drums. One of my, like when I really got into playing drums is, in like high school was, I mean, I would sit there, I would play the entire Guns N' Roses first album. I would just put that on my headphones and just play along to that.
Right,
thing
right,
on the drums.
absolutely.
I mean, just
I was a drummer at the same age in high school, and I remember on one of their videos, as you're cutting, concert scenes and whatnot, the drummer, he just does this blistering cowbell roll. Chunks are flying off the sticks,
Mhm.
and then just back to the drums, just for a split second in the video. You know what I mean?
Yep.
As they're
No,
cutting through this and
exactly.
this. That cowbell has got to be beat to
Oh my
flat by
gosh.
the end of the tour.
Yeah, so I mean, that was a big influence on me as far as Guns N' Roses goes. And then, oh wait, I guess I took it off too early. Didn't I?
Yeah,
know-
we didn't get to talk about it.
Okay, let me go back to this. Okay, so then we had AC/DC and Judas Priest. Judas Priest opened up the second night.
Okay.
And they were good. Again, it was supposed to be Ozzy,
Right.
right? It was supposed to be Ozzy Osbourne, and that would have been incredible. I've seen Ozzy a couple times back in oh my gosh,
Good thing
I
the
think
full
it
moon's this weekend.
was 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like 96 actually.
Okay, so that's
Um,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So saw Ozzy, and so that was cool, but he couldn't make it. He's recovering. So we had Judas Priest, and then AC/DC,
Mhm.
which I have found now. Let's go into a little bit of AC/DC.
Okay.
I enjoy AC/DC. The very first song that I learned to play on the drums was "You Shook Me All Night Long"
Okay.
from AC/DC. So I have a spot in my heart for AC/DC. My friend Travis, who showed up at the show, I hadn't seen in a while, but he came and he can't stand AC/DC. In fact, he skipped the entire Saturday night of the show because he can't stand AC/DC. And then
Yeah.
I came back and Michael's like, Yeah, AC/DC.
And so I could take it a movie.
And so go. I mean,
I'll know all the songs. I've given them a chance. I promise.
right? No, exactly.
I find no
And I
problem with
think-
AC/DC, but I'm also not of that generation.
Right, but most people. I mean, most people are going to know AC/DC,
Absolutely.
but because it's part of the lexicon. It's
It
part
is.
of
It's part of our culture.
culture.
And what happens when everyone knows that song? It might be a good sign that it's overplayed.
Right.
But it also
And
is
that's
part of
really
our
my
culture.
biggest beef with AC/DC. I just
Gotcha.
when I listen to the radio in the car, after work, driving home, and take call-in requests, and I just hear someone who's just half drunk and half educated, and he's hey man, can you just play some AC/DC? And I'm like, really? More of it? And it's just like so much anthem kind of, and I could listen to the Ramones all night long,
Right.
But so anthem's not the worst thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like heard it.
Right. No, and they do get a little repetitive.
I
They've
give them
got the
credit for
same
being successful
sound.
musicians.
Right. They've got
Yeah.
the same sound. And the Angus Young is an amazing guitarist. Even at 68 or however years old.
I know, I was going to say, what's the average
And John
age?
Bonham was
He
just
was so
serious
cool.
on drums.
Oh yeah.
What do you
No,
think
exactly.
the average age was for these fellows? 62?
Well, Bonham was Led Zeppelin,
Right.
AC/DC.
No.
but
I have to look up now.
Yeah.
The
From that one.
Tool.
Yeah, look that up.
Still in Silent Space.
It's because their original band. So Saturday night was great. So let's talk about Guns N' let's go back to
Okay,
Friday
George,
night.
go ahead.
Let's talk about Guns N' Roses a little bit because, like I said, that was an influence on me.
Right.
The band was awesome. Slash, Izzy Stradlin, the bass player. That sucks. I can't remember their name. That guy, the bass player. They were awesome.
Yeah.
Axl Rose, he's done some damage to himself. He's had a rough life.
Right.
And now he's older. And when you have a voice like that, that is the unique thing. But it's not gonna hold up, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it didn't. And
It's kind of where
But so he tried. He went out there and he gave it a look. The one thing though, they played for 3 hours.
Oh my God.
Guns N' Roses played for 3 hours. And
What were the other guys? About 2?
Yeah, hour and a half to. I mean,
Even Metallica?
yeah. They all kept it pretty low. Guns N' Roses 3 hours.
Nice.
We left a little early, and we'll get into that here and after a while. Why we leave early? But
Entry.
oh yeah,
Oh.
it's gonna go into our second. topic. But so we left early, and Guns N' Roses played all the way. We went all the way back to our campground. And all the way back, we sat there for a while, and they still played, and we heard them. Because we were about a mile away, so we could, because we were right there. So we listened to them the whole time. But it's funny because I said, "Well, he doesn't sound bad now," and my buddy was like, "So you're saying the farther away you get from him, the better off he sounds?"
Yeah, it's just a nice
I'm
little.
like, yeah, I guess you're
No,
right.
that's
I
great.
guess you're right.
It's a nice distant memory
So-
from over there.
So
Oh,
one of the
bless his
let me
heart.
go back to this.
Now, is that Bon Jovi or is that Axl Rose? Oh no,
Axl
Guns N'
Rose,
Roses.
that's Axl Rose.
That's the
So
swing guy, right?
Yeah.
Here's kind of the
Okay.
layout of the Empire Polo Club, and you can see their seats, right?
Looks like a football field.
And it's a polo field.
A
Basically,
polo
it's flat.
field?
Yeah, so they have horses. So it's very flat, right?
Okay.
The like from back here to here is like a 5-foot distance, right, or 5 or 6 feet in elevation. That's it. Then they have these bleachers on the side, and then they have this back area here, which is general admission. Let me show you what you get with general admission.
All right.
You want to be
what
close to the
am I
porta
thinking
potties, but not so close.
of? Right?
Equal distance to the porta potties and the concessions.
Well,
attachment.
you got to think of lines.
Just one second. Let me open the right picture here.
And it's going to be no good by morning.
Keep on yawning.
Sure.
Shot of Coke or heroin. I don't know what's going to do.
You're on the
Hey,
internet.
let's try to give Jody something.
You're on the internet. You're trying to get a visit by
Coca-Cola.
someone over the week.
Coca-Cola. It'd be a bad idea either way.
All right, so this is the view you get from general admission.
Hey, you could read it.
Okay, so at this, if you can see my mouse, the middle of the screen and the very bottom is the actual stage,
Oh shit!
right? So the little dots that they're on that little
So that
stage,
AC/DC is
those are the
big.
lights. So and that's AC/DC playing.
Oh my god! So these are screens.
Yeah, I can see him.
So the ones on the side, the AC/DC on the side, are giant screens that and there's 2 screens on the sides, right? So you can see stuff on the screen.
But
So
you're really not in an intimate.
Are those-
You are
situation?
not
Are those ACDC the screens or are those just signs?
No, those are screens.
Screens.
Those
Okay,
are LED
that's
screens.
awesome.
They
Yeah, because if
Like
those are just
500
really do.
feet.
if those
yeah.
are just billboards and I got to read that for 3 hours.
No, they show and
No, these screens are phenomenal.
Yeah,
These are all
that's
the
a-
projection
Oh,
screens.
yeah, no,
Given how
that's
small the
fair.
people are, yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
You can probably see that from other
My
states.
squirrel now.
no, this is
You know how disappointed I would be. There's just 2 billboards on the side of the band.
That's the
Yeah.
way it used to be. 1950s, you only
Here
got
is
one view.
Another one.
Well,
I can, here's
Well,
a
if you're
little-
doing your
10
concert
years.
right, hopefully those are actually speakers behind them.
Oh yeah.
Well,
So
Marshall-
here's a quick little video. So this is basically the view because that was zoomed in. This is the
Oh.
view. So you can see that's a full screen,
Oh, wow.
but
Look at all those people.
those little people. Yeah, 87,000 people.
Barf.
I mean, it was insane. It was crazy amount of people.
You see-
a lot of people.
Oh my gosh, it was a ton of people.
Oh,
You
I don't
know-
like that many people.
It's like
Yeah.
when I go to a football game, except luckily there's a whole bunch of people dressed like me.
Right, so you still feel part of the crowd.
You go to the venue like that, and
Everyone's got
Yeah,
their
right?
flavor on.
there's 17 different reasons to show up at the same venue.
Yep. So okay, so then Sunday night, Metallica and Tool. Oh my God.
Nice.
Incredible. Tool sounded just amazing. So the other nights, the video screens, they showed the bands and they would bounce back and forth between members of the bands playing and everything.
Right.
Tool is about their stage show. So they set the screen up and it just basically just showed the stage. So they started out their show showing the entire stage on the screen. So you got basically the same view that you had standing in the field. Eventually, they squeezed it into where they were showing just the middle of the stage, so you got a little more of them.
Uh-huh.
And then that was the one band I actually went closer to the front of the general admission area. And so I could see a little bit better for them. And then they sounded amazing. The folks at that venue, it's a huge venue, but they did a great job with the sound.
That's awesome.
And so you could still, even that far away, you could feel it in your chest. And so here's another funny story is back where we were in the general admission thing, we were almost 3/4 of, so the sound would happen on stage and we were so far away that we wouldn't hear what happened on the stage until 3/4 of a second later.
Okay.
Right? We were that far away from that delay
Gotcha.
because of how sound
That's
travels.
interesting.
Like
The-
back to that, too.
Oh,
screen.
that's
Yeah,
nice.
exactly. Back to the thing.
Because I got something on my lookup.
So the screens were synced to the first night. The screens were synced to what happened on the stage.
Okay.
So it was out of sync. Even though the screens were for the people in the back,
Uh-huh.
it was out of sync. So somebody would strum the guitar,
and
and then you would see them strum the guitar, and then you'd hear that strum
Uh-huh.
3/4 of a second later. And so
Okay.
people on the message boards were complaining. Why is it out of sync? Well, it's physics.
Well, it didn't sync for these rows.
Right. So,
Yeah.
but the
Just not
people
me.
up
Sorry,
front,
Charlie, you were
the
in the wrong
people up
row.
front that didn't need the screens,
It was just fine.
it was just fine. So the second night they actually delayed the screens too.
Correctly?
Yes. But, I mean,
But really only
for the
correctly
most
for
part,
where
I
you're
mean,
at.
because so it was for me because I was looking at it.
Yeah.
I could tell there was still a bit
Sure.
of a difference.
Oh, you
right?
get that
because I was looking for it, right? I was seeing how close it was. For the regular person, it would have been much better,
Yeah.
right? It would have been very much close to what
Right.
it was. The left side screen, they synced a little differently than the right side screen. And, it's funny, you could kind of watch both screens from the front of the menu. And in here, you could see how much they actually delayed it. Because I run sound and did that
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
before
So
for
was-
a long time. I'm really
This is
watching
your
for that.
venue.
So.
Was the whole show the screens, them playing the concert, or did
Was
it,
it
did it have
imagery?
cutscenes of the?
So no, they went back and forth. I
Okay.
mean, they would show most of it was them playing,
Sure.
but then they had but they also had a full. It was different. The screens out in the audience were the show, were the people on stage, and you got to see what they were doing. The screens on the stage had different stuff. Had
What the show
when
actually was.
AC/DC
Yeah.
played Rosie. Whole lot of Rosie. They had the
Sure.
animatronic or like an LED looking
Right.
figure of a woman, a full figured woman, and so stuff like that. So they had had more. I mean, it was a really really well done show,
Okay.
and they used a lot of their video stuff from the tours, and then tools video and laser show and everything was just incredible too, because that's a big part of their thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, so that's my show for the weekend. So
Yeah.
tell me a couple of concerts that stick in your guys' mind that you've gone to.
Well, I saw Metallica at the Blaisdell at 99,
Okay,
and it was
that
actually
sounds cool.
pretty neat how I fell into the ticket, because it was one of the back in the day concerts sold out in 0.7 seconds, and it actually did. So they booked them for another night.
Oh wow, okay.
Hey, there's that much interest. Why not? We're in Hawaii anyway, and but they could always have the night before the original schedule was.
Okay.
So it was like the
So they
pickup
can-
day was the day before.
Right, gotcha.
So anyway, I had just moved into a new house. It was my last year in Hawaii, and I moved into Pearl City, and it was this absentee landlord lives in Arizona, but he's in town finding new tenants because he's got this 10-bedroom house in
Oh,
Pearl
wow.
City.
Oh
Yeah.
geez, whoa.
And they were huge bedrooms too.
Oh yeah.
We had a pool and a turtle pond. I mean, it was
Oh my
great.
god.
But each room was rented out to whoever could
Right.
pay the rent.
Yeah.
So anyway, I beat a few of them. There's a dude in the Coast Guard, another guy in the Navy, and just other people that with their jobs in the world.
Right.
But they would be, hey, we got 4 tickets, but one of our guys has duty. You want it? Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. Please.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and face value of the ticket, paid him. It's like, so,
Right.
Hey, meet my new roommates. So, and it was a great show. When it was indoors, so they didn't do much for pyrotechnics
Mhm.
except for the song "Fuel" and just give me fuel, give me fire, give me that much change. Like boom.
Oh yeah. No,
And
exactly.
that was the only pyro of the show. They're known to do a whole lot more. And it shoots straight up. It's like this, gazillion degree Fahrenheit wall of flame straight in the air. And they had 4 of them. But they're encores. At the beginning, they seem it's like Kirk's messing with the crowd. It's like the curtain's still pulled, they're not on, but he's tuning up or warming up, what have you.
Mhm.
And he'll just start a song, so every crowd recognize song. Obviously, they're roaring, and he'll just stop that and do another song. He's warming up.
Yep.
It's just he's just powered in, so the sound guy can tune him in. But all these people are already here anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
So they're
already
getting the
sated, ready to
Oh,
go.
yeah.
But yeah, he'd almost have people dancing,
Chomping at
and he
the
can't see
bit.
him anyway. You know, he's
Yeah.
behind stage. But people are actually dancing, and then
Of
it
course
just
they were.
stops.
Oh, there were our human cries.
Yes,
that's
that's
great.
pretty fun. But at the end of their encores, yeah, they leave and they take 5. You know, except don't leave because they're coming back, and they're not just coming back for 1 or 2 songs. It felt like another 45 minutes worth of
Oh,
rock.
wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. And
That's
then they
cool.
came back again. You know?
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, they just.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, that's kind of how they did, at least back then.
They did the same thing. They didn't do too many encores.
It's almost
there.
like the encore. The first one was just
Right.
an intermission.
Yeah.
You know?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they played stuff off their new albums. They played stuff off Kill 'Em All. They played stuff off, they played Master of Puppets and The One. And
That was neat.
yeah.
I've never gone to a concert where they were, pumping their album. You know, like you release an album, you tour.
Correct. Yes.
I miss Queensryche and Building Empires, but that was supposed to be an awesome one because they were doing Operation Mindcrime and Empire at the same time.
Right.
And
Gotcha.
it's a long night.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
And they had their screens, and they're
that's
all
right. They did
they were telling
they
this
did
whole
like
story.
the album like in
It follows the story of the
Yeah,
songs,
yeah,
and that's
no,
what I was asking
exactly.
about AC/DC instead of just them singing right there.
right.
See, when I was at the Blaisdell, it was small enough that I felt like, there's Metallica right there, and it's indoors anyway, so you wear your earplugs.
Oh yeah.
So it was a fun day at Metallica.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What was so Jody?
My
Concert. Give me a concert that sticks in your mind.
my first concert ever, like grown up going to see a band concert, was when I was in college, because not many bands came up here in
right.
the
Yeah.
90s.
I know exactly.
Yeah, we were a little starved. So, but that band was No Doubt, and that was pretty cool. So that was my very first show. I got to have that very first concert goer where like you're up front at 1st, and it was another one of those 90s like Lit or some 90s band that was opening up for them.
Right.
So we saw them, and it was the guys who sing the "All You Do Your Dirty Little Secrets."
Oh, yeah. I remember that
guy.
song. Yep.
Yeah. And so I went to that concert, and I thought that was really, really cool. And then Michael and I got to go to Red Hot Chili Peppers together, which I thought was really, really dope.
Yeah, and they had 4 screens. They didn't use them the whole show, but towards the end, it was just their faces going back and forth. They were,
Well, it was just so fun. I
Yeah, it
mean,
was a fun night,
everybody
yeah.
was so excited to see them. And then the biggest one that I went to that had a personal traumatic effect on me, left a trauma scar, was Elton John.
Oh.
So Elton John.
a lot of times it's the journey,
Sir Elton was having a show up here, and so of course, just like you said, with Metallica, tickets were bought up in like 0.17 seconds. And so then they added a second show, and this show you had to go back old school where you wait in line at the Sully to get your paper ticket.
Oh,
And
wow.
so that's what they did.
Yep.
And so the ticket booth opened up at this hour, so we'd be here in line ready to go. So what we did was after our shift at Chilcoot's, like 4 in the morning, 3, 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Michael takes me over to the line, which is like this, okay? And so I get my sleeping bag, sleep on the floor, and then he goes away. So I'm on the floor, sleeping in the Sullivan, just not like some of our neighbors.
Yeah, so just to give a perspective.
So I've done
Outside
that
of the
too.
Sullivan.
Where the box
Outside.
office would be the northwest corner.
Okay.
We're on the southeast.
Oh, so
that's the line.
Oh my god. Okay.
Already at
Wow.
3 in the morning.
Yep. Exactly.
So I wake up and the line has now changed, and I'm out of line. Nobody woke me up and told me. No honor amongst thieves.
I was busy thieving.
Yeah.
So I get back into line, and I have this sleeping bag. That's all I have. Starts to rain. The line is getting longer and longer and longer. We're talking upon hours waiting until like 10 a.m. or something is when they open.
Oh my god.
Let's say.
And we already worked all night.
Yeah, definitely. And so I'm really, really cold. There's no porta potties, and this is cutthroat time where people are like, "I will knife you if you get out of line and try to sneak back in."
Right.
And so you do not leave, you do not say anything. So I just shut down, and just stood there for hours like you do. And then my mom comes cutely bouncing in at 9:30. Good morning, Jody. Oh, and she's like, I'm going to buy a couple more tickets, I think. La, la, la. Shush, Mom. They're going to kill us. Shush. And
you're leaving out.
What?
So while I wasn't like hanging out with you,
Yeah.
when I was busy getting us moved,
What do you mean?
We're on the end in the middle of the day. Well, now it's the middle of the 5:30 a.m. or something. Jody, come with me.
Oh, yes, I do remember that because that's what it moved, right?
We repositioned. Well, just about everyone was out.
Yeah, so he came back and found me in the movie. Okay.
They just leave her there and wander off. Go hang out with friends. I just went and found her.
You moved to a different line?
We did.
Oh.
Not to a different, it was the same one line.
But it had shifted to the left.
There was just room over here.
So you got a little closer.
Yes.
Get a little closer. Don't be shy.
Yeah, no one cared. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got so I got to the line. I said,
Right.
Mom, I have to pee really bad. It hurts. And she said, okay, I'll stand in line, go into my car and pee in the sleeping bag and then throw it in the garbage can next to the car.
Okay.
And that's such a mom answer, right? It's just, okay, here's what we're going to do. You're going to just do this and it's going to be fine.
We're going to offer you this or.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. And so I did. And I was so thankful for my mom, but I had to tell everybody, I was like, she is just holding my spot. She is my mother. Please do not hurt her. And so we got the tickets, and I was like, I'm never, ever going through that again for nobody. I don't care who you are. I'm never going to go through that again. You're not worth it. I can watch a DVD of you.
How was the concert?
It was amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So the
concert was amazing. It was worth the
journey. It was
worth
the wait.
I have a great story, but I'll never wait outside for that again.
At this particular concert, if you were close enough to the stage at the end, he didn't do an encore because he was suffering from this like horrible bout of laryngitis.
Oh wow!
He still did 2 shows.
Damn.
But he didn't do an encore. Instead, he just walked around the stage for 15 minutes signing autographs.
Signing autographs. That's right.
Neat.
That's right.
Okay.
That's a fair trade.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're in the nosebleeds, and then you just get to watch that happen.
Yeah. So, what was your first concert?
Beach
Very
Boys.
first concert. And how old were you? Your parents took you, or
yeah, my parents took me.
Okay.
It was at NAS Corpus Christi, so it was the military MWR one, and it's the Beach Boys, and and I'll say either 8th grade going into 9th or 9th grade, maybe.
Okay.
Freshman high school or just about to be.
Gotcha.
Yeah. For true that I can remember concert, and this one counts. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing, Benji?
Seriously, Benjamin, we're live.
Because unless you want to talk about Mom at the Corpus Christi Corral, doing Carmina Burana.
Everybody's had their first Carmina.
That is a concert.
Burana. Yeah.
My sister in band, she had flute and her concert. Then I guess I was in my own.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, okay,
yeah.
Jody, yours?
It was the No Doubt concert.
That was your first
Yeah, that was
concert.
my first
Okay.
one. When we lived in Germany, there were some amazing shows that my siblings went to. They went to go see The Cure in Orange, France, and they got to see U2, a ton of bands.
But you were too young.
But I was too young to go with them.
Or she wanted to stay home and watch whatever was on
Beverly Hills
Netflix.
90210. There were important things to this.
They're going to the Louvre.
Yeah.
She's got to go watch Luke.
I will say this. I did watch as a child on the Disney TV channel the New Kids on the Block televised concert.
Okay. All right. Yep.
And the boys were singing their songs, but the final songs, all the boys had taken off their shirts. And my mother was asking me,
those lights are
little 8-year-old Jody, like, why are they taking off their shirts? I'm like, I don't know,
I don't
but
know,
I
Mom.
like it. Yeah.
Tell them the lights are hot. They've been there all day.
They're also like 18-year-old boys.
Oh, yeah. No, exactly.
I'm just giving you an out here. I know what you're doing.
But so that one was, I would say, like the first concert I ever saw that
Yeah.
really marked it was an NKO TV concert.
Gotcha. Mine was Heart.
Heart, I love it.
So my parents took me to Heart, and I was probably 8 or 9, like really young. Like it was.
That is
I
young.
mean, maybe even 7. I don't remember, but it was in the 70s. I mean, it was late 70s. It was
Okay.
like Heart in their.
It's a stranger holding
prime.
you, smoking a cigarette. It's the 70s, man.
Yeah,
I don't know who this kid is. It's fine. Rocket.
No, there was I remember the guy puking in the bathroom, and we had to walk around it. I do remember
Were
that.
you scared?
No,
you're just like, whoa.
Yeah, no, I was with my dad. And
Okay.
So he took me to the bathroom. And then there was
That's nice that he took his
drunk
very
guy.
small child.
Yeah, exactly. But like I was young enough where he put me up on my shoulders when we were down, front looking up there. And that was really cool. And then what other one we went? He took me and the girl that lives across the street. We went to see Peter Frampton too. A couple years later. I was a little bit older for that one. But Peter Frampton back in the 70s too. That was pretty.
I remember big shows coming to Corpus Christi, in junior high and high school.
Mm-hmm.
Bon Jovi actually stopped in Corpus Christi. Ozzy went to wild south of San Antonio. After Texas got their own rules, and
You offended someone.
Yeah,
Ozzy's not.
You could say that. He's an old man now. He's probably
right.
He's probably paid a Benz.
Right.
He did legally anyway. But where's some other ones? It just, Corpus Christi. It's now it's 277,000 people that you can count.
Yeah, no, exactly. No,
so we're not that big of a city. So the bigger names we got was kind of a draw. I remember Suicidal Tendencies in Queens, where I only went to San Antonio.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and that was the one
my
buddy Chris Silva went to and had a great time.
Yeah, no, I saw high school. I saw David Lee Roth with Eat 'Em and Smile.
Okay,
that was a really good show. And then we went to saw Motley Crue on Girls Tour. That was the first one where Tommy Lee had the drum kit that went up in the air and rotated around.
And it depends on where you go versus what they can do with the. See, like my percussion instructor said, it picked him up and it didn't flip him like in the music video, but it sent him out over the crowd. Yeah, and then it spun kind of like a flying saucer.
There was multiple iterations of that. The one I saw actually went upside down.
Like the music video?
It flipped around like this, and then eventually it was going all different ways. So it was flipping this and like this. I mean, it was nuts.
And I guess
it was crazy.
And I guess as long as you stay center, and you can handle whatever G's the yaw brings you.
Exactly. You can be strapped into that damn thing.
You're gotta be, even if you're center, you're still getting twisted around.
Right. No, exactly. Yeah. No. Yeah. It was crazy. It was
Tommy Lee Jones or Tommy. Yeah.
There is somebody I always would like. If I could, I would really like to see the Cure, but of course, back in their day.
Yeah. Right.
Although I'd get really excited to see them, but again, I'm like, oh, you're no fan. And then the songstress of my generation, Tori Amos. I would really like to see a Tori Amos. She's a weird little redheaded girl who plays the piano and sings strange songs. I love her.
No, seeing Tool was one of the bands I hadn't seen before, and so I'm really happy I got to see them now. Primus was another band, and I finally got to see them when they came up here for the show at the Moose's Tooth.
Yeah,
I finally got to see Primus. So.
Oh, and we saw was it the Dead Kennedys or was it?
Well, at Coots, I worked.
You worked.
Misfits, and then later that summer we had the Dead Kennedys.
Oh, gotcha.
Without Jello Biafra, so they had this younger kid as a singer, and then it was 3 middle-aged guys, or not middle-aged, like post middle aged guys. You know,
Right,
but-
right.
Yeah.
But you know, you look at their face, and then you go look at that poster I got in my garage of the dead Kennedys. Clearly, that's just glasses are a little thicker now, and you know,
right.
East Bay Ray, the guitarist, is he's blind
Right.
because that man was wearing Hubbles. I mean,
Oh.
and D.H. Pelidro, the drummer, he passed on this year or last year, I think it was. But he was an original Chili Peppers drummer.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And make everything racial, but a black, metal drummer, actually successful.
Stands out.
Yeah, he draws attention.
Gotcha.
Especially, you put the photo with everyone else in the All Stars.
Sure. No, I can see. He's a pioneer for his people in the Crow. It's awesome. What was the picture of?
So this was my crew, and this is when I get into the.
Oh, why you left early?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about our second thing. So this was this was part of our crew. This wasn't all of us, but this was most of us that went to the show.
So, yes. Your best mates there, yeah.
So some really good friends, and that was part of the weekend too. As we had, I can show you that too. Show you our campground. Stop that. And sure. So this is.
Don't worry, folks. That's the
Don't
plastic
worry about the
skeleton.
skeleton with no head walking
Yeah,
around here with the young man.
There might have been some foul play.
Yeah, and, we're gonna take care of that after the show. But there's
Okay.
there's a
So nice,
campground.
solid RV community.
Yep. No, it was crazy.
I always enjoyed stuff like this as a kid. There was just a phenomenal sense of just being able to run around and just you could kind of go everywhere.
Right. So I mean, and it was pretty full. We got there the first night. We got there on Thursday night. We were supposed to be in the ADA parking lot.
Okay.
Because my friend is disabled.
Right. Yeah.
We'll talk about that. That's one of the things I want to get into. But so we're supposed to be in that parking lot, but my gosh, it was full. It was completely full by the time we got there. And we were still wondering, we're like, is this the ADA parking lot? They're like, yeah, it is.
The age of the people who are taking
so that's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I'm like, the people that are here for this concert are most likely or a lot of them are going to have
older people
mobility issues, health issues.
Well, they're going to have,
But doesn't he potentially trump some other?
You would think so, but they're not going to kick anybody out. We were still close enough to it wasn't that big of a deal.
Okay.
We pulled in straight. Our neighbors had backed in, and they were two guys from Canada.
Oh.
And they just were the nicest dudes.
Of course they.
Well, yeah, of course they're from Canada.
But that's awesome.
So we had a great time the whole weekend with them.
Yeah.
We were close enough that we could roll. That Dwight could roll his chair up there.
Nice.
And anything, but so my friend Dwight is many years ago he had a whole bunch of strokes all at one time, and he likes to say that it would have killed a normal person.
If he's saying that afterwards, then yes, well done.
And I agree with him, and he's been a really good friend for a very long time. But his wife is amazing, and I don't know if it's a divine intervention thing, but it stuck with me that is love.
Mm-hmm.
Like what they go through as a couple.
Right. The realities behind
the realities behind it, and somebody that is dedicated to that relationship is just something that is, it's inspiring.
Yeah, it shows the depths of human kindness and love. Yeah, some souls.
No,
There's some grits
exactly.
and some souls in that.
Right. So, I mean, love and relationships and that are messy.
Yes.
They really are.
Humans are
And
hard.
we always go through different trials and tribulations and
And I think also there's these, because we're saying our middle years, right? We've
Mhm.
gone through a lot of stuff. And so you think, oh, I know so much and I've gone through so much. We forget what's yet to come
Yeah.
in terms of the future pain or realities that we're going to have to face in the coming years. And sometimes I think we forget, like, oh, I've already gotten that behind me. And I'm like, oh, no, I haven't.
No, I haven't. I
still
know
got so much
exactly.
more pain to go through. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of one of those strange thoughts about it,
Right. And as you know, because I mean, I'm no spring chicken.
Right.
And
But
so,
you've certainly at least felt love a few times in your life so far.
yeah.
'Cause it would
No,
be bad if
exactly.
we haven't at this point in
Exactly.
our
And
lives.
my wife and I have a really great relationship. I mean, it's not always roses,
Right,
obviously,
but it's a solid bush.
but it's yeah. I mean, it's a solid. It's a rose bush.
Yeah, it's a
right?
rose
There's
bush.
thorns. There are thorns, but there are
But the
pretty
thorns aren't
flowers
going anywhere.
too.
We're not going to take away the thorns.
Mhm.
The thorns are allowed to have their space.
No, exactly. And so, I mean, I just wanted to mention that because, man, it was just, and Dwight is a strong, very strong-willed person,
Mm-hmm.
and he's very, um, his mind is still sharp as a tack.
Right.
It's amazing, and I think a lot of people that see just the outside of how
Because
he
it was the body that
presents,
took the beating for the
right?
most part.
Because it was his body, right? His
Okay.
right side's completely locked up,
Right.
and so his, but we still have a really good banner back and forth,
Uh-huh.
even if he can't verbalize it like he wants to.
Mhm.
But he, just knowing him for as long as we can, we could read
You
each
could
other
breathe
pretty
between
well.
yeah.
But yeah, so his perseverance in to improve and get
And to
better,
accept
and
the
then
love that his wife is giving
yeah,
him.
exactly,
And sometimes that is
exactly.
hard for men to
Yep.
accept love or
Mhm.
letting a guard down to be allowing somebody into their personal
Right.
space.
No,
It's
exactly.
very hard for some
Well, yeah, and someone that gets in that situation, it's just, and then I don't know. It was very, very inspiring to me.
men. Yeah.
And it was something that
I'm glad he
that will
has her. That
stick
makes me happy.
with me for a long time. And we don't get to see each other as much as we'd like to, but hopefully now, hopefully we can do more.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
I think it's really beautiful whenever we have, especially you said right now we're going through a really, really hard time on the planet. And
Yes. Yeah. No, I mean, stuff is getting crazy, and it just keeps getting crazier.
Yeah, we can't.
And so,
There's no.
So we really need
It's
each
stacking
other.
upon itself.
Yeah, and we really need just to stick with each other, and
Try to step back.
try and try and find ways that we can put up with each other and
put up with
see
the
where each
thorns.
other
Allow
is
the
coming.
thorns.
Right, exactly.
Because they're part of the rose.
Yeah. No, they are.
What are your thoughts, Michael?
Yeah, Michael, what do you think?
No, just with the times are tough right now. It actually just brings me to a mad place. Yeah, it's just there's no one to get mad at that. It's you're gonna get a return on,
Right,
Right.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
So it's almost like a hopelessness, but
yeah. I'm not giving up.
I mean, you're not giving up, but it's like
man,
nothing will be done.
Mhm.
You're watching the world burn around you.
It's like you got gloves on, the other guy's got headgear, and and your gloves are like socks.
Right.
Mhm. No, exactly. But I mean, and you guys have a strong relationship too.
We had to endure each other. I think Michael and I are both very larger than life people because I am. Right? I mean,
well, you know, you're a goddamn national treasure.
Yeah,
so
national treasure, yo.
Michael's like,
I got my boyfriend on right here. Love this man. No, I married my friend. Both Michael and I think the biggest thing that attracted both of us to each other that we didn't realize at the time was that we could allow each other to be that actual person that nobody really likes to put up with. That bigger theater. I mean, he has to. There are times when Michael has had to learn that he could come into a room and I could be doing anything. I could be dancing, singing, pretending I'm in Evita. I could be doing a dramatic monologue in the mirror. I'm an actor. I play everywhere. And so he has had to accept that reality that his wife is going to be doing all these things, dressed up in all these different ways. And he has no control over that. You know, he's not going to stop me.
Right.
So he has to just accept that and go with that. And then for him, you know, your football, right? That is a lot of devotion that a spouse has to, you know, that I had to accept. This was Michael's other
Having
lady.
never had an interest to sit through a game her whole life beforehand.
Never, ever.
Oh, wow.
Not so much a favorite team or anything like that.
Yeah, I absolutely have gone over.
And you understand what
I
some
do.
of what's
Yeah,
going
I
on
actually
now.
like it now.
Yeah.
I accepted his. Honestly, I mean, because like Michael, he accepted my burlesqueness, right? He helped me with costumes. He helped me
if you were
with my passion.
If you were spending time with me at all and repeat time afterwards, you were going to hear about the Bengals.
Yeah, because Michael, somebody once talked about on Facebook why Michael always talks about the Bengals so much. He's like, well, I don't want to talk about politics or religion and get upset. You know, I would rather talk about something that I think is fun.
There's going to be Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yep. No.
These things are happening.
Exactly.
So I think.
Be glad I don't watch baseball.
I think
that can be some long topics. Well, and Michael's very creative in his own right.
Yes,
he really is.
And he's coming out
he's
so
be like,
much
I
right
don't
now.
know what you're talking about. But he is.
Because I was going to show up my new series.
Oh yeah. So I mean, but he is very creative in his own right, and I know just writing the show, we've had some fun. Just writing some of the lines and some of the scripts that we've had, and we've done a lot of laughing. And
yeah.
So yeah, it's good to to be working with you two as a couple. That's just a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot of fun.
It's fun to have the extracurricular, and it's wholesome. You know, it's something real. It's something's there, and you finish something, even if it doesn't make us the millions that we're
We're so very proud of what we did.
Yeah, no, exactly. We're gonna get there. Trust me. We're gonna try. We're gonna try our damn hardest.
I can't.
I was dropping hints, people.
I can't work this hard and be this amazing my entire life without the world ever noticing.
So if we don't get the millions, in the contract for follow-on series for 10 years, I'll be okay with the results.
There's the
skeleton
again. So one last thing.
I'm not sure
Benji won. A few minutes left.
Yeah.
We are really going to be kicking into high gear.
Yeah, I saw those pictures that you've sent.
So we have got a couple of exciting things on the show front for mistakes were made. Monday night, we're going to get together with a couple of cast members, and we're going to rehearse the office scenes down at the studio, at the Rethink Home 2 studio. And then I think Thursday, we're probably going to film those scenes. And then we have also secured another place to do some additional filming.
Yeah.
That we are going to be able to film some of our other office scenes, the original office scenes, and a couple other scenes. It looks real. It's a really, really good spot. And I'm excited. I can't say where it's at. I am not allowed to actually put that out
he's
there.
taking a blood oath. So
it is a secret filming location, but we are really going to start kicking this thing into high gear.
So stay tuned for more exciting stuff on that. You
exactly.
can follow us on Rumble, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter, which is now X.
Yep. No, exactly.
And my lookup is there's no sound in space, like your science teacher told you.
Oh yeah,
But
let's go back.
I'm
Let's go
not
ahead.
finding out how the spacecraft, the astronauts, space station, everyone else, and even pre the Apollo missions, how they communicated with Earth.
How does radio signals
Travel in space.
in space? All right, let's see.
Oh,
What
so
do
you
we
would
get?
technically, I just looked it up.
Dun, dun,
Apollo
dun,
missions.
dun,
See if I can-
dun.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna pop
All
this
right.
up here on the screen. Present. Present. Share. Window. And it says, here are a few things to know about how radio communications work. Waves. Electromagnetic radiation travels in waves at the speed of light.
Light.
Unlike waves that travel through sound and water, EM waves require no medium. They can move through air as well as the vacuum of space.
That's awful.
So it's because it's an electromagnetic radiation signal. That's how radio communications work. That's how it travels in space. Radio waves are like other frequency E&M radiation in that they can travel infinitely far in a vacuum at the speed of, wow. Yeah, I don't even know what the hell that means.
I gotta go full screen here.
Yep. Oh,
And probably get my glasses.
let's see if I can zoom. So it looks like because it's electromagnetic radiation.
So is it
why-
light and not sound?
Correct. It travels at the speed of light, but I don't know that it's actually light.
They haven't said anything like gonna kill you hertz or anything like that.
No.
Gonna kill you, hurts.
Well, after gigahertz and megahertz, they're gonna have another kind of hertz.
Gonna kill you, hurts.
I bet you they would. Like gamma rays.
Radio waves have the longest wavelengths in the electromagnetic spectrum. They range from the length of a football to larger than our planet.
Oh,
okay.
I don't like the
We're doing science and space. That's right.
No.
You don't like space, do you? What about like the sea? Like
Same
underwater?
thing. I do not like underwater.
So what is that?
The
Why?
exact same thing. It's empty. It's vast. It's alone. It's cold. There's no air. There's no
Okay.
tactile. I like to have boundaries around me. I don't go up staircases without a
A
rail.
railing. Oh,
'Cause I don't
okay.
like. I don't like heights either.
So-
I'm so grounded.
Like some people are claustrophobic.
I'm orophobic, so that's the open.
Okay, so that's so orophobic.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even realize that there was a thing for that. So
And
that's like wide open spaces.
Yeah, and so in those situations, like the height or underwater or the outer space, it is life altering. Meaning, I cannot live a life when I'm
Okay, so
being in
what
those
about so
elements.
like I said, where I was very very open.
Uh-huh.
Like the polo fields was there are a lot of times where because it wasn't completely full,
Right.
So there'd be like big open field, and then we went down to the festival.
Uh-huh.
It was a huge space. There were a lot of people there, but
Right.
so would that? Because
I
the
don't-
people were there, you think you'd be
Maybe
okay,
if there were too many
or-
people there, usually the tube thing isn't too much of a bother. But since COVID and since the world's gone a little crazy,
Mhm.
I don't like large groups of people. I
Oh,
don't trust
okay.
us as a group. But that would be a problem. But if I was on the ground, that would be okay. Looking on the ground, looking up or around,
Right.
that's okay.
Gotcha.
So yeah. Shawnee told me last night that I have a very rock or earth and water elements about me. Meaning that if I told her that when I die, I don't want to go up into outer space because I'm going to be scared. And so she's like, I see you as dissipating more into the ground and recycling yourself back into the energies. I'm like, I can see that.
Okay. No, that
Did you freak out at some driver in the car and his car blew up? You heard a backfire.
That was a backfire.
Did you guys hear it too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
I
was
thought it was a gunshot.
Well, good for you coming inside.
no, and I was just waiting to hear Benji because I didn't hear a scream, so that's
right.
good.
That's yeah.
Well, it's not talking.
Okay.
All right. Good luck. All right. Well, hey, that's the show.
Some soul
well
revealing
done.
information.
Yeah.
Here.
No.
Good
Metallica
show.
rocks.
Show.
Good
What's
time,
that?
good people.
Metallica rocks.
Metallica does rock. Absolutely.
Yes.
They really killed it this weekend. It was so much fun. And yeah.
And
When-
sound travels through space.
Sound
When I
travels
went,
through space because
to
of
We've been lied to.
electromagnetic radiation.
When I went to the show with my dad, it was like some BYU concert thing. The next night, they were going to have Pablo Bryson. And so when the announcer's like, and tomorrow night, we're going to have Pablo Bryson, I'm like, Pablo! Nobody in the crowd of like 2,000 said anything. And the guy looked
First.
at me.
Who is Pablo?
He's the guy who sings with Celine Dion, the original Beauty and the Beast. And then he also sings, if ever you're in my arms again, this time will always be
Okay.
better. He's an 80s guy.
Gotcha.
No!
So we have you next week, Miss Jody?
We do not.
Okay.
Because
What
I
happened?
am
I didn't think so.
rehearsing during those days. I thought about
Okay.
that. I was like, oh, I'm
I
not
was
gonna tell Robbie
wondering.
that.
Okay.
Professional here.
So
Yeah,
Gonna
exactly.
rehearse.
All right. Well, you will have the Rob and Michael show next weekend, so we'll find something interesting to talk about.
Yeah, we
wait,
will.
wait. No, I'll be here for Friday. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant for rehearsing this week.
No.
Because
Next Friday. Next Friday.
No,
Okay.
I rehearse. I changed all my rehearsal schedules. So I'm always free on
Okay.
Friday.
Woo!
Friday, Saturday,
Dedication.
Sunday.
Dedication.
Yeah.
I love it. All right.
I'm rehearsing on Monday, my day off.
We will.
Right?
Hooray!
Catch
Well,
you next week
awesome.
then.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know we were still on.
That's
Bye.
why I said first, and then it went
Bye.
off.
Yeah, he was going off first. You can still hear him, but can't
Yeah.
see him.
Well, I'm
Okay.
never
Leave
gonna
the
get
building.
off.
But all of us are.
All right, go ahead.
Good night.
Good night.
How many years we
Peace
got?
out.